Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Tennyson E Stead, writer and director of Quantum Theory, founding member of 8-Sided Films with another 8-Sided blog. And today I'm going to close some thoughts on the production I was working on with Gerard Marzilli over at Theater of Note called Alternative Acts. If you've been following our blogs from the set of Declassified, you've heard at least a little bit about the show. It's an evening of one acts. It was a late night thing, 2 nights a week, Friday and Saturday, in support of Theater of Note and as a fundraiser for the company. And I wrote a short comic sketch about quantum physics and marriage therapy that some new actors that are going to be involved in the company in various ways participated in. It was directed by a fantastic guy who I've gotten to know over the course of the production named Mark Antonio Pritchett, who's a very cool director and very cool stunt coordinator, a sound guy, and fantastic production ethics, and very easy to work with. And it was a lot of fun. It was a really good experience. And I really enjoyed myself at Theater of Note, which is lucky for me as a playwright because it turns out that the company is focused on exclusively premiere work, so they only produce new playwrights, and hopefully I'll be submitting over the course of the next months and years, and supporting the company through my writing. So, having gotten to know some people there and having had a bunch of discussions, naturally, things kind of came back to a lot of the stuff we've been talking about here on the 8-Sided blog, and a lot of sort of core show business ethics issues, because Hollywood is really struggling with show business ethics right now at this particular point in history. And there's one of those points that I would like to revisit today on the blog, because it came up in those conversations, and also because it's something that we've been talking about on the podcast I do with our composer Dan Hegarty, the Loudmouth Report, with Charlie Waymeyer, who's another sound engineer that we had on the show. And it's the question of finding that one relationship, or finding that one person who's going to make our lives easy, who's going to make this whole process work. There's this obsession in Hollywood of like suckerfish looking for the shark that's going to carry us through the water. And, you know, even to the point of having this philosophy where if a bunch of suckerfish kind of glom together into like a combination suckerfish shark monster, that somehow that cluster of suckerfish will be enough, where everybody's feeding off of each other to become a presence in the Hollywood community. And that's not at all how show business works. The reason why I got along with the people at Theater of Note is not because we needed each other, it's because we didn't. It's because we had something to offer one another, and we could offer those things without attachment and without need for reciprocation. I was there to support the company because I like what the company does, and because some of my actors are members of the company, and what I gave was given freely, and I didn't want anything or need anything in return. And the performances the actors put into my show, they didn't put those performances there to impress me. They put them there because they're great actors, and they refuse to let a show suck. It's just that simple. You know, Mark directing the piece that I did, he didn't do what he did to please me. He didn't do what he did to build relationships in the industry. He did it for his actors, and he did it for his audience. He did it for the reasons that anyone does a show, which is to make the show great and to make sure people show up to watch. That's it. That's all that mattered to anybody in that production. And that's what matters to me too. And it was enough to motivate us to make the show as great as it can be. And the fact that we were all motivated in that way, and the fact that we got the results that we did through those motivations, means that we can trust each other with other responsibilities. So, you know, at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say here is, yes, Hollywood is about who you know. It is. It absolutely is. But you know who you know because of what you bring to the community. Who you know is a reflection of what you offer the community, the value that you bring to the community. And the truth is, if you're amazing, if you're an amazing writer, you're an amazing director, you're an amazing actor, but you don't know other amazing people to work with, then something's wrong, man. You're not doing something right. And it's not a question of networking. It's not a question of finding that one person who can be your voice or your emissary or somehow introduce you to the community. It's that you're not taking personal responsibility for making sure that the excellence that you bring to your work is actually helping other people. Or, alternatively, you're not as great as you think you are. One of those two things has to be true. You know? Because otherwise you're going to find people who are on your level of excellence, who demand the things from themselves that you demand from you. And they're going to appreciate the fact that you make those demands. They're going to appreciate the fact that you continuously work to make the people around you better. And they're going to appreciate the fact that you're not demanding anything in return for that. And they're going to give you the same courtesy. And when you cultivate that kind of environment, when you cultivate that kind of relationship all around you, when all of your relationships are those relationships, then you're going to make a great show, because everybody's there to make the show great. Everybody's there to achieve something. I think it's a short blog today. I think that's all I had to say. Thank you for watching the 8-Sided blog. If you have questions, find me on Twitter. I'm at Tennyson E Stead. We have a lot of other 8-Sided blogs here on the 8-Sided Films YouTube channel, youtube.com/8-Sided Films. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up. If you want more, give us a subscribe. And pretty recently we did wrap a web series, Declassified Project Icarus, which you can also see here on the YouTube channel. And Declassified is a series of archival videos from the Cold War, government archival videos, in which projects are declassified and presented to the public that the government was involved in, which it wasn't. It's all fictional. The first project is Project Icarus, and it's a manned one-way mission to Saturn's moon of Titan that we launched in 1977 for purely political reasons, just to be able to market defense contractors to senators, basically. And the people on Project Icarus are caught in the middle of that bad motivation, you know? So they've got a mission and they have to succeed at it. And the footage is all the internal sort of communications footage from the one little camera they put inside a Kabbalah command module before sending Captain Whit Pierce on an 8-year mission, crammed into this tiny little space, all surrounded by life support, and with no way to move, and to keep himself in his spacecraft in working order so he can actually make the landing on Titan 8 years later. And a lot goes wrong with the mission. There's a lot of things they didn't plan for, and a lot of things they probably should have, and that's what happens when you go into something with mixed motivations. You miss obvious problems because you're focused on other stuff. And that's definitely a problem that Captain Pierce has. And watching him overcome that is the point of the story. I think Gerard Marzilli gave a fantastic performance in Declassified Season 1. We're looking forward to Declassified Season 2. We have other web content coming your way, and knock on wood, hopefully, we'll be in pre-production with our first feature film, Quantum Theory, before we even have the chance. So, one way or another, we have more stories coming your way. Give us a follow. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching.